Very important topic. Ignorance debt, or the debt of not knowing. It's a real thing, and it affects people's lives day after day after day. Ignorance isn't a bad word, really. It's different than being stupid. Ignorance is not knowing at this point in your life, right? Not knowing information that you need to know. And I want to tie this topic into how overcoming this issue, gaining knowledge about a certain topic or business model can allow you to become a little bit more lazy once you have the knowledge. There's a huge caveat that comes with getting to that lazy point, is you're going to have to dedicate and work very hard to gain the knowledge you need to gain and absorb and put into practice. So now you have options to become a little lazier in your life, because you're going to, at that point, have the knowledge to create solutions that are a little bit more efficient, or a lot more efficient than you would have if you were the person who has a proclivity, just if I just work harder, I'll be a success. So now knowledge is power. And whether it has to do with the pallet business that I teach people how to do, or whatever you're looking into, there's a huge debt to pay to get over the ignorance debt that you're living and allowing yourself to live by presently. Anytime we gain knowledge about a topic, a shortcut, a pro tip, we need to start digesting it and putting it into practice in our life from people that have done it before us. And be in search of that information on a daily basis for us to overcome the trap of, if I just work harder, I can make a success of myself. I'm a big fan of working smarter, not harder, myself, and I do respect the folks out there that are grinding away, working hard. They can generate some wealth, but there's an easier path, especially in the day and age that we live in this life. So the question I have for you at this point: are you willing to take on the challenge of gaining that knowledge that you need to learn, so you can pay down your ignorance debt, or the debt of not knowing? Are you willing to do that? An example of it in math terms: if I put the figure $1 million up on the screen, and I ask you, what are you making presently, and you come back with $50,000. Well, in this scenario, your not knowing gap, or your ignorance debt, is $950,000. You're paying life $950,000 a year for not knowing the information that you need to know to get to that $1 million range. I know in my life that it's been so important for me on a daily basis to solve problems, to come across information that's going to help me solve problems, to search out information that's going to allow me to solve the problem of that day, and have a library of that information, a Rolodex, so to speak. So now, from this point forward in my life, once I gain that information, I can apply it, and making it a daily practice to acquire as much information as possible. A good example recently has been, AI as an example. I knew nothing about AI until, 9 months ago. And I knew it could be of help for me in my business. So, as an example, I had an ignorance debt, and I knew if I did not learn some of the tactics that come along with using AI in your business, that I was going to fall behind. And being in an ignorance debt, like I was when I first started the pallet business, as an example, I knew I needed to learn things and everything I could about the business so I could help the businesses that I need and eliminate that debt. So with AI, I made it a goal and a daily practice to gain knowledge on now when I have to do certain tasks. I can use AI in my business to help me in a productive, efficient way. And it's cut literally hours and hours and hours and hours out of my weekly work life, because I become more efficient because I spent the time learning the knowledge I needed to learn, and I cut that ignorance gap down to nothing in that particular category. This applies for everything. So as far as the pallet business, and you're looking at this model as an example, how much is it costing you not having the knowledge you need to know? For me, when I started it not knowing anything in 1998, it cost me a lot, meaning but I didn't have anybody out there to help me to learn it the way I wanted to operate this business, and to diversify and not have to have employees and not to have to store these pallets and lift them, all these issues, and how to help the suppliers and the buyers and how to get exclusivity. All those problems were on me to help, but to have to overcome. But my life experience at that point, I had to do it the hard way. But for you, since I put information together for you not to have to go through that, that is a knowledge base to overcome the ignorance gap or the ignorance debt that you are presently facing, because there's a lot of people, especially in the pallet game, that are doing this business the wrong way, in my opinion. So I think it's very important. It's probably one of the most important lessons that we all face. Realizing that there is a cost for not knowing information, and coming to that realization. Is that going to prompt you to take action to do something about it, whether it be this pallet business or anything in your life? You know, it could have to do with the relationship with your spouse or partner, and learning ways of better communicating. It applies to everything. But knowing that you do not know is an important realization for you to come to. So now you know what the issue is, what the true solution is. And now you have to understand, if I take the time as an individual to tackle that, then I can actually not only produce more income for myself, possibly, if that's the route you're taking and going after, but I also can work a little easier, a little lazier, because I have the knowledge base to create shortcuts in my life where I don't have to just work harder and grind it. We're all, most of us, at my age, we're not in this to grind at this point. Did we grind in our younger years? Did I? Absolutely. But at this point in our life, we need knowledge to overcome that so we don't have to grind anymore. And work smart. Work smarter, not harder. So what's your ignorance gap? What's your ignorance debt? What is it costing you? Ask yourself that question and find something to overcome it. Information that you need to gather, whether it be about this pallet business or whatever you're going to do. I love watching people succeed in taking action on not having to work for the man anymore. I have a bias toward my business model, of course. I do sell training on it and teach people. Go to thesimplestbiz.com as far as that goes if you want to learn more about it. But just the fact that you are moving toward reducing that not knowing gap in your life is important for me to see. I enjoy seeing it. And of course, it should be more important and a priority for you to do. All right? So that's my talk for the day. And if you want a thumbs up on this video, go do that. Subscribe to this channel to get alerts for new videos coming out. Go to thesimplestbiz.com to learn more about the business model that I teach people. And I do sell a training course that teaches people how to do it. So that's what I have to say today. Hope you're having a great one. And we will see you soon. John Wilker with The Simplest Biz. Out.